Germany. What is the first thing that comes in mind when someone mentions Germany? Is it the famous automotive industry, the culture, the language,
Bin 11 Jahre alt und hab schon 2 Moves weggeguckt.
or the very punctual people?
Ja, das ist also eine Weihnachtsbaumkanone und die ist dafür da, um einen Weihnachtsbaum abzuschießen.
Und der Sinn dahinter?
Frage ich mich auch.
Or maybe it was the history where nothing bad ever happens. Right? One of the most common stereotypes about Germans is that they're always on time. If you tell them they should be at around 13:30, they will be like an hour early or even 30 minutes early. So reliability is the German motto. There is one exception. Germany's main railway company, the DB, also known as the Deutsche Bahn. Now if a bus or a train is a couple of minutes late, that's usually not a big problem. It is a problem when you have to make multiple stops and you have to take different buses or trains. Even if one train gets delayed or one bus gets delayed, it will fuck up the entire planning and you need to either buy a new ticket or have to wait for a longer train, which is what happened to my trip to Germany. After moving out from the blazing forests of Indonesia and into the fortnight battle royale of Switzerland, I get used to the public transport being fairly on time, despite the occasional hiccups with the SBB. It is pretty reliable here, though if one drop of rain or one pinch of snow drops on the tracks, there will be a delay of 15 minutes, and I've seen it happen multiple times. This is one experience I should never forget. On the trip back from Germany, the train delay got so bad that I almost missed my last train to Switzerland, because if I missed that train, I have to wait until 5 a.m. to wait for the next train, which is very not ideal for me. Now here comes the main question. Why the hell am I even in Germany in the first place? A friend of mine invited me to his crib for a week. Other than watching my favorite Ryan Gosling depressing movie and the Ace Combat movie and Top Gun, but during the stay we even visited the nearby museum in Sinsheim, the Technik Museum of Sinsheim. It is packed with like a lot of exhibitions on aeroplanes, on cars, trains even. Hell, they even have World War II/Cold War exhibition there, which was pretty nice. But what caught my attention, they have the Soviet bootleg of the Concorde, the Tupolev 144. I never knew that the Soviets even made a Concorde-esque plane, but hey, it was the first time I saw it in person, and the way that it got transported from Russia to Germany was pretty interesting. Now, I'm not just a motorsports fan, I'm a huge sucker for planes and jets. I'm still waiting the day that an Ace Combat series gets released, or even an Ace Combat movie. Sure, there's Top Gun, but I need a Ace Combat series, man. I need that. Bandai, please, for the love of God, remaster the Holy Trinity, I beg of you. Another exhibition that caught my attention was on Formula 1 cars, and there's like an IndyCar exhibition. I believe the car from Nigel Mansell, even the cars from Formula in Macau. They have like teams like McLaren's Formula 1 car from Prost and Senna's era, the Williams car, the Sauber, Jordans. Hell, they even have the infamous six-wheeler from Tyrrell. It was pretty alright. Now comes the home stretch. I packed up my things, we drove to the train station, and we waited for the train. The journey from my place to his place was around 5 hours, give or take. It starts in Eppingen, then I have to take a train from Eppingen to Karlsruhe, from Karlsruhe to Basel, Basel to Baden, and then from Baden use the bus. In theory, it should have been a smooth ride, but I had no idea this was going to be one of the most stressful travel experiences I had. The problem started in Eppingen. The first train that was planned to arrive got cancelled due to a mechanical fault on the track. What the fuck that means, I have no clue, but that is already a good start. There was a second train incoming, but they had like a delay for 5 to 6 minutes, so I was relieved, but other than that I was a bit annoyed, so we waited and waited. This was in the late evening, like around 17:30 on a Saturday, so traffic shouldn't be this heavy. We waited for at least like 20 minutes, and then I look up into the board. The board just was empty. The second train that was supposed to come wasn't there anymore. It's just like, oh, it's like, nah, I'm not doing this. And it was like, okay, well, there goes strike 2 for you, DB. Then we waited for like around 30 minutes, and my friend had to leave, and so I waited, but he did give me like 2 options. Either I wait for another train, which is coming for another hour, or I use the S-Bahn. It takes more time than the regional train, so I decided to go for the S-Bahn route because the train literally arrived a couple of minutes after he left, so I decided to bite the bullet and just go with the S-Bahn. It's gonna be slower, but I hoped that this train take me to Karlsruhe so I can grab the Basel train from Karlsruhe to Basel. God, was that a mistake? So, the train ride went pretty smoothly for 5 to 6 stops until we stopped at Vlelingen for it felt like a decade went by. The conductor announced the delay due to some type of track problems. The fuck that means, I have no clue. I just wanted to go home. So, we waited. I believe it was like half an hour until the train finally started. But the train conductor said, yeah, we're not gonna continue this route. We're gonna stop you at some random ass location called Bruchsal. And then from that, you can use the train from Bruchsal to Karlsruhe. And I'm like, okay, at least they have an alternative train for us. And I was so stressful, I forgot to look at the time, and I was like, it's almost 7 p.m. And then I opened up the SBB app and I saw that I have 2 trains that I have available. One at around 2012 and another at 2112. I was aiming for the 2112 train, which was the last train I have left to go to Switzerland. Now there were other options. I saw there was like another train that comes at around like 10 p.m, even one at 11 p.m. So that was actually a good alternative, but yeah, no, I wasn't going to spend 8 hours commuting. There's also one thing I got very nervous is that I wasn't sure if my ticket was valid. Now, since I got delays on this trip, I wasn't sure if it still counts. But after I've done some checking, and my ticket is still valid until the next day. And if a conductor does ask that, I believe I'm safe. Sure enough, I got to Bruchsal and the train to Karlsruhe was waiting for us. So I rushed my ass there and called one of my siblings to ask if they could pick me up later in Switzerland. The ride to Karlsruhe this time went smoothly and we managed to get to Karlsruhe. Now, weirdly enough, the train to Basel had like a 15-minute delay. Was this a lucky break or it was just very bad luck? But I had enough time to switch from platform to platform, and it's more of a lucky break for me, man. This was stressful. After what felt like an eternity, the train to Basel arrived. I grabbed my seat, played some games on my Steam Deck, and even watched some John Wick. But this was just the first half of my trip. I just want to get from Basel back home. Now with this delay, the train that originally from Basel to Baden already left. So I decided to grab another train, which is from Basel to Olten, and from Olten to Aarau, and Aarau to the train station. So I'm still not out of the blue yet. And I grabbed the train from Olten to Aarau, waited a couple of minutes in Aarau, grabbed something to drink, then from Aarau to the train station that is near my town. Called up my brother and was like, yo, can you pick me up? I don't think I'm gonna catch a bus because there's no bus running during that time. I believe it's like around midnight. Theoretically, I could just walk my ass from the train station back home, but I was exhausted and I just like, nah, you know what, I'm not taking the risk. I'm just gonna call his ass, tell him, hey, can you pick my ass up, drive me home, get onto my room, and then just crashed out on the bed. This trip should have lasted for at least 5 hours. It took 7, almost 7 goddamn hours just because of this goddamn delays. But I'm just glad I got home. In hindsight, I could have actually stayed a bit longer at the friend's house, but the Sunday tickets are goddamn expensive, man. Like, Jesus Christ. So yeah, that was my experience with the Deutsche Bahn. I don't know if anyone else also had like some issues with the DB, with the delays, and probably like some funny stories regarding the DB. Should I have left a bit earlier than planned? If I'm being honest, I did not expect the delays to be this bad. The overall trip to Germany was pretty alright. Now, the museum was pretty much fun. I enjoyed all the exhibitions. I'm the Formula 1 nerd and the aircraft nerd inside of me, and the World War II history was pretty alright. So that is the story on how I almost got stuck in Germany because of train delays. Thank you, DB. You've given me the DB experience. I hope you guys enjoyed this somewhat of a story time. If you have any stories regarding like any public transport goofs, just write it in the comments. Leave a like and subscribe. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you around.